Gundo, right? There are reports that he's going to be leaving Barcelona, right? I saw this break over the weekend, right? There was some story saying that he's not happy at Barcelona and that he wants to leave and, he regrets signing for the club. And I don't really know how much of that I do believe because I remember when his deal was running out at Man City and they wanted him to stay, he wanted to join Barcelona, right? And he's only been there one season, right? It hasn't really worked out. I don't think that he's necessarily played at the level that we all thought he was going to because before he left Man City, right, he was pivotal in their Champions League run. He was one of their best players, right? He was consistent in that Pep system. And I think we all thought at Barcelona he was going to cook, but he just hasn't really played, I would say, that well, right? I know some Barca fans, you guys watch him a little bit more, so maybe you guys could get in the comment section and let me know. But they're saying that Man City have contacted him and they're trying to bring him back. We all know that City, they need a CM next to Rodri, right? So can they possibly bring back Ilkay Gündogan and this could be a reunion? I think it'd be some good business depending on how much he cost, right? Because I know Barca, he's on high wages and I think he has 2 years left. So for me, I think anywhere from 10 to 20 million, I could see him going back to Man City for. But I don't think he should be their only midfield signing, if that makes sense, right? He's 33 years old. He's not getting any younger, right? And I would say his best days are kind of behind him. So I think if Man City were to go in and bring back Gundo, then you have to also bring in maybe another midfielder that's a bit younger that can learn from him and Rodri, if that makes sense. But I think this would be a good signing, right? And I think Barcelona, they are kind of stacked in that midfield, right? You got Dani Olmo, who just signed. You got Gavi. You got Pedri. Right? You got Frankie de Jong. All these guys occupy the same areas on the pitch. They're all center mids. Or you could even say Dani Olmo's more of an attacking midfielder. But you get what I mean, right? So I think Barca at the same time, we know that they have financial issues. Gundo is on a lot of money. I think he's on, 15 million a season? So I'm pretty sure that Barca would want to get him off the wage bill, right, to lower that. And I think then that would be able to allow them to register some players because I know that there's still some issues with registering like Dani Olmo. At the time of this recording, I don't believe he's registered yet. So, yeah, I mean, look, we got to see what happens with Gundo. But I think, look, he accomplished everything that there was to do at City, right? Like once they won the Champions League, I didn't blame him for wanting to go to Barcelona, right? Because Barca, they are a bigger club than Man City, right? Man City are a better run club and they are a better team at the moment. But I think for him, he wanted to go to Barcelona, who are a bigger club, right? Spain, Barcelona is probably a better place to live than Manchester, right? I mean, let's be honest here. And last season, he didn't win any trophies, right? Got dunked on by Jude in 2 El Clasicos. If I was him, I'd want to leave too, right? You're watching Madrid but they signed Mbappe, right? And I know that it's looking a little shaky at the moment. It's still growing pains for them. But Gundo can see the future. He knows that for Barca, it's peak in the future. He's not trying to be a part of these El Clasico ass whippings. He's not trying to watch Real Madrid do a treble. So I don't blame him. And it's funny because I'm seeing a lot of Barca fans actually say that he's not good enough for them. But yet Man City want him back. Maybe because City, they know him, right? And obviously the system that Pep has run shows you that he could work. I mean, shit, this guy, Gundo is such a good player, in my opinion, that he was able to run that false 9 role when they first let Aguero leave perfectly. I mean, like, he's the complete midfielder, in my opinion. This guy could play as a deep 8. He could play as a 10. He can play as maybe even a 6, right? But I don't really think if you have him as like your DM, you're going to get the best out of him. But I think he can do a job there in like the one-off games, right? So for me, good signing for Man City if they are able to get it done. And again, they do need midfield help, right? I know that they were looking at Bruno Guimaraes. They were also possibly looking at Zubimendi, but I don't see Zubimendi leaving Real Sociedad. This guy is rejecting big clubs left and right. I also know that Bruno Guimaraes, Newcastle just made him their captain. So, I mean, you don't make somebody your captain and then, you're looking to sell them, right? I mean, Bruno Guimaraes is pretty important to Newcastle. That's going to be a pretty hard deal to get done. I think, Gundo, He wants to come back to Man City, they're saying. Barca need the money. Should be a pretty simple deal to get done before the transfer window closes. And yeah, I think that he does strengthen them. But again, I don't think that he should be the only signing that Man City make. And I don't think that Barcelona are going to necessarily miss him either, to be honest. Because again, I don't think he performed that well. And last thing I'll say before I get into the chat, it's damn near like he just went on loan. It feels like he went on loan to Barcelona. If he ends up back at Manchester City, this was just a loan. Like literally, like he just did a little tour of Spain, played a few games for Barcelona, then he went back to England. And to me, I mean, it's a W for Gundo because now he's going to go back to Man City, arguably the best team in the world. He's going to win trophies, right? They're going to go deep in the Champions League. I think they're the favorites for the Champions League as well, right? Pep and them, they're a well-oiled machine. It is what it is. You know, they've been terrorizing my club in the Champions League, except for last season. But before that, right, it's just not been fun. I don't like playing against Man City, okay? But regardless, I think this is a story to keep your eye on. And I don't think it's just a foregone conclusion that Gundo just ends back up at Man City, right? They're talking about maybe some Saudi teams, maybe just other clubs around Europe could possibly look to bring him in. But I think City is just an easy link because he's familiar with them. That's where he spent damn near, 7 or 8 years, won everything that there is to win. But look, he wants to return. Let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comment section. Gundo back to Man City. That would be crazy. Let me see. All right. My guy Abdallah is here. He's the Barca fan. So I'm going to take what he says and I'm going to actually listen because he would know more about his club than I would, right?